Hi, welcome back to Grill 143. I'm JJ, and today we're making a cast iron deep dish pizza. And this is awesome because you can customize this with whatever your favorite pizza toppings are. This will feed 3 to 5 people, and this is only going to cost about 10 bucks. So stay tuned, I'll show you how we make it. All right, first thing, you need to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Second, get you a good cast iron skillet. Today we have a 12-inch cast iron skillet. You want to make sure this is well seasoned. I'm not going to show you how to season it. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you how to do that, so go ahead and search for one of those if you're not sure. Next, pizza dough. Now I bought this at the store pre-made. It only cost $1, but if you prefer, you can make your own at home. So let's roll this out. Let's lay this on the counter. Get your rolling pin. Start rolling the dough out. All right, once you get your dough rolled out, before you pick this up off the counter, you want to get your skillet, just hold it over and make sure you have the dough rolled out wide enough. You want to make sure you have, this cast iron skillet's about 2 inches thick, so you want to make sure you have at least 3 inches all the way around the skillet. And we're more than enough right here, so we're good. So next thing, we're going to take this dough, pick it up off the counter, and get it in the skillet. All right, so we got our dough. Just lay it right on top of the skillet. And now, you don't need to press it into the skillet, just kind of pick up the sides and let it sag right inside, right into the skillet, just like that. The toppings, the toppings are gonna hold this in place, so there's no need to press this into each edge right now. Just make sure you have enough draping over all the edges. All right, first thing I like to do, take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just go right in to the dough. Don't need much, just about a half a tablespoon or so. Take a paper towel or a silicone brush, just brush the olive oil all the way around. That is fine. All right, next, start with our toppings and work up to the sauce. We're gonna layer this, it's gonna be awesome. Today we're going with pepperoni, Italian sausage, and black olive. It's one of our favorites. So we got our pepperonis here. We're gonna start with the pepperonis. Go ahead and just layer the bottom with pepperonis. That looks great. Next, we're going with Italian sausage. Sprinkle some of this in there. It's gonna kind of move around a little. Go ahead and move it around with your fingers, spread it around. Next, we'll take cut up black olives. Sprinkle some of this in there. Use however much toppings you like. That's a great thing about this pizza. You can add whatever you like and however much you like. All right, now cheese. We have mozzarella and a little bit of cheddar cheese in here. We're gonna top this off with a little bit of cheese. And now, start the whole process over again. Another layer of pepperonis. Next, more Italian sausage right on top. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and use them all. There we go. Now, a little more black olive. And before we put the last layer of cheese on, we're gonna top this off with a little oregano, a little dried oregano, and also a little dried basil. This really gives it that Italian flavor. All right, next, more cheese. Make sure you leave enough room for sauce. So last, I'm gonna add your favorite pizza sauce, whether it's homemade or store-bought. We're just going store-bought today. So we're just gonna add some sauce, go ahead and dump this on. You wanna use the sauce last, because if you add the sauce first, the pizza is gonna be really sloppy when you go to cut it and serve it. It's gonna fall apart. So you wanna make sure you do the sauce last on a deep dish pizza. All right, once you get your sauce spread, go ahead and take a sharp knife. We're not gonna leave this crust like this. We're gonna actually take a sharp knife and just go along the edge and just cut this crust, the excess right off, just like this. All right, once you get this dough cut off, go ahead and take this off. Don't waste this, it's not trash. Our pizza is pretty much done. We're gonna set this aside for a second. We're gonna take this dough, and this is good stuff. You can make breadsticks or a calzone with it. Today we're gonna make a little calzone with this leftover dough. So go ahead and roll this dough out. We're gonna go ahead, put a little pizza sauce right inside. Whatever toppings you have left over, we have a few pepperonis. So we're gonna add some pepperonis in here. Pepperonis. Some black olives. A little cheese. A little oregano. A little basil. Just like on the pizza. Now, we're gonna fold this over. I'll squeeze this together, just like that. That's actually a pretty good sized calzone with the leftover dough. Place this on the cookie sheet. All right, set this aside for a minute. Now, I got 4 tablespoons of melted butter. To this, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. So we have a nice garlic butter. We're gonna take this garlic butter. We're gonna spread some of this garlic butter right on top of this calzone. Set this aside. Take your pizza, a little bit of garlic butter, right on the crust. Once you get the garlic butter on there, set that aside. Before we put this in the oven, we're actually gonna heat this cast iron up on the stove top. You wanna preheat this cast iron, it's gonna help the pizza to cook more evenly. And we're gonna leave it on here on a medium heat for 5 minutes. It's gonna preheat that cast iron, help it cook more evenly, and it's also gonna help that crust to get a nice crunch to it before we put it in the oven. So we'll come back in 5 minutes. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. Now you wanna make sure this cast iron is nice and hot. So if it's not quite hot, then you wanna make sure you leave it on for another minute or 2. Ours is done, so I'm gonna turn this off. We're gonna get this calzone in our preheated oven and grab your pizza. It's going right on the top shelf. Put that in there. Set your timer for 15 minutes. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. Our pizza is done. As you can see, pizza looks great. Calzone, we're gonna leave that in for another minute or 2. Set this up here. All right, so it takes a minute to cut this up. We got her cut. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a slice out of here. Oh man, look at that. Hold on to it. Man, look at that. Tell me that doesn't look good. All right, let's take the calzone out. Oh man, this calzone looks awesome. It's oozing out a little bit. That's okay. We'll take this, we'll set this on a plate, let it cool off. I'm gonna save this for lunch tomorrow. So good, that crust is nice and crunchy, I'm telling you. If you like what we're doing here at Grill 143, please hit that subscribe button and feel free to leave your questions and comments down below. We'll see y'all next week. Oh man, that's good.